Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'm here today with this super fun folio that I made using a Dollar Tree little notebook. These are the newest ones at Dollar Tree. This is your daily planner. I don't know if you can see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the weekend. And then they also have these planners. Your to-do list, don't forget your goals. So I'm going to show you this super cute folio, and it has a little glare on it because I took self-laminating sheets, or you can use clear contact paper, and I covered it so that way it's easy in and out of your book, on your purse, your backpack, whatever you need to put it. Also, I wanted this part here to where you can put a sticky note on, easily on and off. And sometimes when you're just putting sticky notes on paper, it can tear the paper. So that's another reason why I wanted to have it with the self-lamination or clear contact paper. And then this part here, if you use tape, you could probably tear that off and add another pad when you're done with it. But I didn't make it reusable other than that. So if you don't laminate it, it won't be reusable. Anyway, well, I guess you could reuse it. You can just tear the back off and use it as a picture folios. I noticed I didn't get the lamination inside of the grooves here. Anyway, there's a pocket here for you to put your receipts or, you know, whatever you need in there. On this side piece, this is also a pocket. Let me get that nice and creased in there so none of that lamination comes up. But this is a little pocket. Now, I made this a super small tuck space because my magnets are here and here, and I don't want you to be able to put something huge in here, like a full piece, because then it will take away from the magnet strength, right? Because we want it to close like this so nothing gets snagged in our backpack or our purse. And yeah, so this is the folio. It's super cute. Let me show you like a little, see, just a little magnet still here. Just a little tuck space, a little tuck space. Actually, I might just leave that there. All right, let's get started. You're gonna need, excuse my sinus infection, but you're gonna need one piece of paper that is 11.5 by 8. Yes, we're using our 12 by 12 paper today. I know I normally make all of my projects for 8.5 by 11, but I just didn't feel like it today, to be honest. Looking for my paper trimmer. These are quick. 8 by 11.5. These are great, are going to be absolutely great for your Christmas in July or your Christmas craft fairs because they're super cheap to make. All right, on the long side, we're going to score it at 5.5 and 6. Okay, that's all we're doing for that piece. Now we need a piece of paper that is 5 by 8. And you can, if you only want to use one sheet of 12 by 12, you can use this leftover piece. This is 4 by 8. It's just your pocket is going to be smaller because the page we're getting ready to make is this little extra flap right here. So if you don't mind it being probably just here where the floral paper is, then just do your 4-inch paper instead of 5. It doesn't really matter. Actually, let's see how that looks. So 4 inches by 8. We're going to score it at 1/2 inch and 1 on the short side. So 1/2 inch and 1. Let's just see how that looks. Because if that looks good, then I will put these measurements in the description box. instead. See, I mean, it's significantly smaller. But I was right, though. I don't know if I like that. I mean, that's such a small space to put a pocket. No, I'm going to stick with the original measurements. Alright, so you need a piece of paper that is 5 by 8. Oh my gosh, everything's falling. Okay, 5 by 8. You might like that smaller pocket, but let me know. 5 by 8. And then 1/2 inch and 1 on the short side. You know, that the smaller pocket may be better if you're using a pattern paper, so you can just use one piece of 12 by 12. Especially if you're using like the paper that, you know, you don't particularly care for in the paper collection. There's always that one sheet that you just don't like, but it may be somebody else's favorite. So you could do that smaller pocket, that smaller page. Alright, but for this tutorial, I'm doing the bigger page, and I'll have the measurements for the bigger page in the description box. Alright, so I'm putting this on the bumpy side. Making sure there's no overhang, and I'm going to attach it to the right hand side of our first little booklet that we made, and going up to the score line, not on it, not passing it, just up to it, and it's not lined up. Okay, and that's your folio, right? So now we're just going to go ahead and make our pocket, which our pocket is going to be 5 3/8 by 3.5. One, 3, nope. Actually, let me double check. I'm sorry, the pocket is 4 7/8 by 3.5. 4 7/8 by 3.5. And then you're going to score it on 3 sides like a pocket, so twice on the short. No, twice on the long, once on the short. Okay. Okay, and just a pocket. You don't have to have a pocket there if you don't want a pocket. You just leave it blank for pictures if you want. It's up to you. It's your folio. Depending on how much work you want to do, or if you forget to put the pocket, oh well. Nobody knows what it's supposed to look like except for you. Okay, and one more little piece. Alright, miter your pocket, cross those X's. Bone folder. And if you want to mat first, mat first. If you don't, you don't. I typically don't mat underneath my pockets because it's such a small space that you're going to see. And so I just don't mat under my pockets. And I just meet my paper 1/8 of an inch above my pocket. So it's really up to you. But what I just learned is that with these soft lamination pockets, I probably shouldn't have cut the bubble like regular lamination, because this feels like it's coming up. Oh well, I'll get that in there after the tutorial. Alright, so on the inside, I'm going to put my pocket down. I'm just taking the backing off my pocket. And I'm just going to go. So whenever I make my pockets, they are slightly smaller than my page, 1/8 of an inch. So that way I don't have to worry about that pocket coming off the page or not fitting properly, whatever. I always make mine smaller than the page. That and because I'm a border girl. So now there's a little tiny black border. When I mat up here, it'll have the little tiny black border. Everything matches. It looks good. Alright. So honestly, that's it. This took less than 10 minutes to make. And now all you have left is your matting. So I did mat the back of this because, like I said, if you put score tape on the back of this, you can just peel it up and reuse it. But I also thought that was really pretty to have that in there. I did the cheater method though. So I needed the yellow. I only had one sheet of yellow paper and I needed it to cover this. I know I had a half a sheet or something. I don't know. And I wanted this in this little part here, right? So what I did was anything that was going to get covered, like this yellow paper I knew was going to get covered by the floral paper, I just cut out the whole center of that yellow paper. So that way I still had my border here, but this whole middle is actually what this card is sitting on top of. This yellow is the middle of this yellow. It's because I didn't have enough paper to cover it completely. And then this yellow is a chunk out of the yellow back here. But I glued mine down, so I can't peel it up. And I learned that Barely Art Glue does glue down to lamination paper. So happy accident. But yeah, so there's a whole big old chunk taken out right here. And I put it over here. And then I did laminate it. There are seams. You're not going to be able to see it because I put it back here. But there's a seam down the middle. And then there's a seam. Let's see if you can see it. I can feel it. The seam is right here. But you cannot see it. Like, you can absolutely feel it, but you cannot see it. So if you have clear contact paper, obviously you can do the whole width of the book, but I didn't have clear contact paper. I just have self-laminating sheets from Amazon. And then I just took a knife and cut there to make my pocket, and then I just cut here because I only glued on 3 sides, and cut there. So that's all. My magnets, one's here, one's here, one's here, one's here. That's it. Less than 10 minutes and you have a wow factor book. If you want, let me mat and show you the lamination. I'll mat it off first. Okay, so before I finish gluing everything down, I glued this down before I put my magnets in there, and so my magnets have to go on the cover, and I typically don't like that, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So I just wanted to show y'all that, like, life happens. If you forget, then you just gotta kind of go with the flow. And so now, because I need them to go here, the adhesive is going to be on the wrong side, which is fine. So all you do is take your score tape and you put it, well, first you got to take the backing off, put your score tape on top of that. Make sure you have a wide enough score tape that covers that entire sticky part. And find my magnet again. Where are you at? Oh. So see how my score tape is sticky facing up. That's what you want. Okay. So sticky to sticky, and then, I mean, your magnets will tell you which way. Just make sure you don't, oh, that was my nail. Just make sure you don't have your sticky facing down on this because it's going to rip it. This is too long. Okay. And now I can go ahead and this is just place my magnets. To where they need to be. Oh gosh. Okay. And then just squish in your score tape. So your magnet should now be on that bottom piece. That's how you fix it. Or if you forget and mat everything, then you add like little flowers or butterflies and you hide the magnets with that. Just make it work. Or don't have a magnetic closure at all. The books stay pretty flat without the magnets. I just like the magnets to keep it closed so that way it doesn't get caught up in your bag. But you don't have to have a magnetic closure at all. Okay, now I'm matting the pocket. Make sure my direction is correct. And I'm going to put score tape along the edge where the magnets are, just so it holds the paper down. So it'll be on this side. It just makes me feel better because sometimes when you glue over the magnets, it takes away some of the strength. Now these are basic gray magnets I'm using and I haven't had a problem with those, but other magnets I have had that problem, that once you get, especially like your Berry Arts glue, it has a problem. Alright, so I have my placement, and that just holds it down so they don't puff up, and it's going to puff up like right here, but I didn't want to have to worry about, you know, trying to hold it like this and all four of the sides when I can just worry about, you know, the little bit. Alright. Oh no, I did it on the wrong side. Okay, that's fine. I want it to have... No, that's not going to look right. Okay, that's fine. I want it to have the bees as the pocket and the beehives as the paper. Like I wanted this. But yeah, I can't have that. So I'm going to use 1-inch blue because I don't have any more of this paper that's this direction. Let me double check. Okay, I decided that it's going to look fine because I was going to use this. But I really want my beehives. I really want my beehives in there. So it's going to go this way. That's what I want. Alright, so we're going to glue on 3 sides just to make the pocket. See here, I just glued a little piece there. And I'm going to pop this in right here. Making sure my glue piece is on the left hand side. If you accidentally glue the wrong side, then it's no longer a pocket, it's just pretty paper, okay? Because clearly I'm having a day. Alright, so let me finish matting it and then we're going to laminate it. Okay, I finally got everything matted and whatnot. Okay, so I took my self-lamination sheets and I cut mine 9 by 9. And what I'm going to do is I'm just trying to peel off the backing. I know you can't see that, but I'm literally just peeling off the backing. These lamination sheets don't have any like starter bar or anything. You just got to kind of peel it. Okay, and I'm just going to peel off just the corner here. go about a 1/2 inch off, making sure you're lined up. And now I don't know if you can see or not. Let me move my mat. I glued mine down to my mat just for now, just so I can get this part nice and smooth, no bubbles. Okay. Now you are going to want to press in really well. I got little creases right there. They should press out. Or is that hair? No, it's crease. Alright. So you can see where it's not pressed in. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's like 2 different colors. So when all of it is the same color, you know you have it pressed in. Dang it, I did not do this very well. Oh well, okay. So you're just going to do that. And then my second piece, I'm going to cut, gosh darn it. I'm going to get all these bubbles out, and then I will cut my second piece. And actually I just decided to use this piece that I already had cut, which is 9 by 9. So you do need quite a few sheets of this, just because I wanted my seam to be down the middle. I'm going to try, well, I was going to try just having one sheet cover and then going from there, but that's going to be on my cover and I don't want that. So we'll see. Because I want to make sure that the film didn't land on, oh my gosh, this was reckless. I took the whole back off. I wanted to make sure the film didn't land on one of the, you know, like the seam. Ooh. I didn't want it to, you know, on a score mark or anything like that. I didn't want it to land on that. So that's why I cut them. Now I overlapped it just so it's seamless-ish, kind of. And then again, you're just gonna make sure that it's in there before you know, move on to the other side. Alright, so I decided that I am gonna try full page coverage and see how that works out. Alright, so let's go ahead and peel our backing. And let's go ahead and make sure it's going to cover nicely. No bubbles. I don't have any patience to do it slowly, so I bet if I would have just, you know, if I slowly removed the backing, there would be 0 bubbles, but I don't have patience for that. And for me, the faster I do things and don't overthink it, that's when it works out perfectly. When I do it slow and pay attention, it doesn't work out. Alright, so this went over onto this spine, so we should be fine there. Then I'm going to overlap it with another piece. Let's see. You know what? I feel like I'm just going to overlap it all the way over here, just to make sure. I don't think it's going to matter, to be honest. Like, just get it on. And this is the hardest part of this whole folio, right? I'm trying to laminate it. Okay, and I'm just going to overlap it somewhere around here. Yep, that worked perfectly. And then I'm just going to, you know, varnish it all in. Alright, so that worked out perfectly. You can't even see where I overlapped it. Not even in the camera. It is right here. I can feel it, but you can't see it. So you don't even have to worry about all that measuring I did. So you just stick it on there. Now I'm going to take my paper trimmer. This one, I think I am going to leave that bubble, like a lamination bubble, because the other one, I felt like it started to peel off the sides. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that tiny bit of a bubble on there. And it should be, you know, it'll be fine. So that's it. Magnets are in. We're going to cut this down. And then, you know, I'll show you how to cut these. Let me cut this down and I'll show you how to cut the pockets. Alright, so now I'm just cutting down the long side, which my book is longer than my paper trimmer, so I just use my craft knife in the paper trimmer track and just go from there. There you go. Okay, so now we need to add our notebook, and so you're going to use your tape. Oops. I used 1-inch tape, and I honestly just stuck a piece down the middle, and I glued the rest. But this one, in case my partner wants to make it reusable, I'm just going to stick a 1-inch piece on the bottom and the top. And then that way, when she gets to the end, if she wants to pull this out and put another one in, or she can always just glue another notebook on top of this backing. I didn't think of that until just now, to be honest. This is it. This is it. And then you just put it in, you know. Oh. Yes, my book is crooked. I cannot lay something straight unless my book is crooked. Look, perfectly straight. I don't know why I'm like that. Oh, the other tip is when you are varnishing your adhesive over your magnets, be very gentle or else you'll see your magnet imprint. For me, it wasn't a big deal, but some people it might be. But that's your whole notebook. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Oh, no, I'm lying to you. I forgot the pockets. I just took a craft knife and cut the pocket. That's it. And then just make sure that the lamination is, you know, held down right there. See? Pocket. And then on this one, the same thing. Yeah, the pocket's on this side. Don't apply a lot of pressure because obviously you just want to cut the lamination, not your paper. Here you go. Pocket. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.